Hi,
teacups.
teacups. My name's
Hi,
Kenna.
I'm Kristina, and we're gonna spill the tea for you guys today. We have kind of a shorter episode today. Well, not a shorter episode, but we are gonna do our interview first, and then our tea at the end. And so we're also gonna do our housekeeping at the end. But thank you guys for staying with us, and welcome to season 2.
Yep,
Where's
first episode of season 2. Anyway, with that, here's our guest.
Here's our guest. Oh no. Hello.
Hello.
Oh no, we can't hear you.
I always forget this thing.
Oh yeah, it's okay. It's different tech. It's not like Zoom. I know it's.
Yeah. I'm saying thank you so much for having me and thinking of me for coming on the show. Super excited.
Of course, we're so excited to have you. So, for all of you guys who are just tuning in, here's our guest today, Natalia Peguero. Here's her it's down there. Follow her on social media. So, we always like to start with an emotional check-in before we just dive into everything, just to make sure we know where everybody's at today and how everybody's feeling, so we can, govern ourselves accordingly. So, how are you today?
I'm feeling excited and a little overwhelmed, but excited about being on Spill the Tea today.
Well, I'm glad you're excited. We're excited to have you. What about you, Kenna? How are you feeling, hon?
I'm feeling pretty good today. I don't know, it's summertime, so it's a great time of year. Feeling good. How are you, Kristina?
I'm really good. My grandma and my little cousin came to visit me, so they're here in Atlanta. And yesterday we went and we got our nails done and did some shopping and had some girl time. So it was really fun. So yeah, overall I'm feeling really great.
Awesome. So every week we like to just get to know our guests a little bit more. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Natalia. I'm from the Bronx. I was raised in the Bronx, and I have 2 children. I have a soon-to-be 17-year-old, and I have my son who is going to be 4 next month. And a lot of my inspiration now comes from being a mom, and having to juggle being a mom and an artist. But I got my bachelor's degree in theater from the City College of New York. I got my master's in educational theater from City College as well. And I'm a resident company member at the Harlem Repertory Theater, where I've been a part of this company since 2003. And right now, because of the pandemic, the company had to take a break. The last big show that I did and role that I played was Vanessa in the Heights. I played the role for almost 5 years. So it's been a ride. It's been a ride as an artist and performer to continue to, stay relevant in the field. So I'm glad that I've been able to, book certain things. The most current thing I've done is this urban reggaeton video that should be coming out, releasing soon with a big time, reggaeton artist. I'm super excited about that. And I was able to really act in the video. They didn't want just like a pretty girl partying in the video. They're like, no, we need like an actress that's going to be able to convey the story of the script. And so it was super exciting to get back into like real acting. I've been a teaching artist for the past 2 years. So that's what, I met Kristina in my musical theater class. Super honored to have, shared the space with you, Kristina. And just like, learning from my students a lot these days, because especially my youth, I feel that the youth has a voice that's not heard often. And I'm really, I commend the both of you for having a show like this, because me growing up, I'm going to go back now to talk about myself and just what got me into musical theater and just being a singer. I grew up in the hood, and, being an artist and the arts really, really saved my life, I want to say, because it would have been super easy to just, get into, a lot of my friends were in gangs, but I always knew that I wanted like just a different path for myself. I know I grew up around the projects, and I knew like, what, once I get into high school, I want to go to school downtown. And a lot of my friends were like, oh, you're acting so different now. Like you want to be white. And it's like, it's not about wanting to be white. It's about doing what's right, what I feel is right for me. And I see a different world outside of here, And sometimes I go back to my hood and I feel really bad. I feel really bad for those people that have stayed there stagnant, and proud of those who have been able to just like, even if they still live there, they've been able to step out of it. So super blessed to have the life I have right now, that I'm not there in the darkness, as I call it. Um, but I've always, I lived in the Bronx for a long time. I live in New Jersey now. We just bought a house out here in December, and super blessed to, be able to create in the wilderness around trees. And, I started to write more during the pandemic. I'm lucky enough to have been chosen out of like 70 plus, you know, um, writers for this anthology for Bronx writers. So that should be coming out like fall, winter. So I'm super excited about that. On the other end, as a writer, I've been writing erotic poetry. So my goal is to write 100 poems by the end of the summer, because I'd love to just get self-published and publish my erotic poetry. But let's see what in terms of just straight artistry. Getting ready for something that can be super big, affiliated with the new In the Heights movie. We're still getting word to see if the programming is still going to be on, because of the pandemic, and live theater hasn't really come back to its full potential yet. I think that's the question. Are we going to have all these people, even if they're vaccinated, in one room, for long periods of time rehearsing, and then having to have a lineup of more 20 performances? So it's like a Broadway cinema celebration for In the Heights, West Side Story, Little Shop of Horrors, like all these movies, that all these musicals that are being, transcribed into films. And I really hope that they don't cancel it.
Oh, I hope
I
so
hope they
too.
don't. But and it's with Luis Salgado, Kristina, the founder of
Mm-hmm.
Revolucion Latina.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be working with them this summer in the camp. But I really hope it doesn't get canceled, because it's a big opportunity for me to share the stage and the space with Broadway, performers and all that. I've had the opportunity to perform both off Broadway and off Broadway. The last off Broadway gig I did was I Like It Like That at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. Super exciting. It was their last run, but I'm so lucky to have been able to join the cast, even if it was their last run. It was a great experience to be there. But I'm just super excited. I'm looking to get more into voiceover work now, really prep myself for that. Continue to teach, because I love to teach musical theater, especially teen musical theater, specifically that age group. Um, and just getting my setup ready, trying to learn all these new gadgets and the whole new, virtual world. And that's a goal for this summer. And then I want to say by January, I hope that I have a management company and an agency. I've never been signed to an agency, because I was with Harlem Repertory Theater for so long. Like a lot of my resume was there at Harlem Repertory Theater. I did I played the roles of Dina Jones and Dreamgirls, Anita and West Side Story. That was a big one, because I'm not a professional dancer per se. Like I performed for years, but you perfect it for that role. And I must say that was maybe one of the most challenging roles for me, having to and being confident enough to bring her essence through, even if I wasn't a dancer. I worked really hard. So a lot of people were just like, we didn't see that you weren't a dancer there, but it was a lot of work. It's like someone that doesn't sing that has to sing. So I'm always confident with the acting, with the singing, and the dancing. It's like I have rhythm, because I'm Dominican, and I love to dance salsa and merengue and bachata and everything. But when it comes to like choreography, sometimes it's really difficult for me to like connect move to move. And there's certain things that I feel in my body right away, and it's I got it. Then other things, they're like super technical, and it's like like I can't count right now, just let me sing and act. But that was a really interesting role to play, especially to bring it back for the second time for me, because I played like a small ensemble role the first time I did West Side Story, and then got to play Anita while I was getting ready to go to the singing competition, Yo Soy el Artista. So with Yo Soy el Artista, it was interesting, because during that time, the producers didn't know, when I auditioned for the show months before I got ready for West Side Story. The producers of Telemundo didn't know that I was going through something vocally. So I auditioned for it. I got it. And I was like, oh my God, I got it. I was going through, a health thing with my vocal cords. I had vocal nodes. I had popped a blood vessel on one of my cords, and then had to figure it out. I couldn't hit a certain range for a long time, but I just did it. I said, you know something, even if it's not my best, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. They called me up. The producer's like, we're gonna fly you out to Miami, while I was getting ready to do West Side Story. And my director's like, oh no, you're leaving to Miami. What's gonna happen if like you're on this show like for the next 6 months? I was like, dang, I won't get to play Anita. But I was like, you know what? I was like, no, don't worry, I'll be back. And things worked out for the best. I made it through the first round. I said I would never do another singing competition again. Not because of, the whole competition thing, but just because I'm like, is this really my thing? And that did something to me. I was prepared. I had the look and everything. And in the middle of the whole thing, doing it, I couldn't hit one of my notes. And it wasn't even like the super high note. It was just that I didn't have, my register wasn't there. The producers didn't even know that I was going through this vocally. So me and my brain, I was just like, oh my God, I have to hit this note. And I know I can't hit it. I'm going to act this out. I'm going to do what I got to do. And, it didn't happen for me. It wasn't the time for me. But it's funny, once I got off stage, there was a relief inside within me. I didn't feel like I failed. I felt like, you know what, everything happens for a reason. And the host of the show, who's a famous, actress, singer, Mexican, she's like a queen. Her name is Lucero, because it was a Spanish competition. She said to me, the last thing she said to me is like, today is not the day. Like, today is not your day. And I will never forget her words, because I was like, wow. They hit me not in a way to make me, it just gave me more confidence. It's like, you have to be ready, but also you have to know when you're able to do something at your best. Don't just do things to do them because it could have really messed me up vocally. It could have been something that I would never get my vocal range back because, I hit that, whatever register I was in the moment, and I couldn't hit that note. I could have really damaged my vocal cords, and after that night, flew back. I think I was stood a day in Miami, and then flew back, and I was just like, you know what, that wasn't meant to be. And I had so many people supporting me, people that actually know my work, that've seen me on stage. They're like, girl, we know how you sound. But then you have all these other people that have never seen me before, and it's like, oh, is this, I have to live with that part of it. I have to live with the part of, this is the only part of me that they know as an artist. They don't know that all the work that I've done on stage, and how I've spilled my guts and have made audience members walked out because they can't handle the last scene because they know what's going to happen or whatever it is. So I had to live with that part for a long time, because as an artist, my main goal is always to, and I know that we spoke about it in class, it's like, I love to make the audience uncomfortable, whether it's in a good way or a bad way, but I want you to feel what I'm feeling in the moment, and letting go of that. And people actually oh, but what happened? The questions of what happened? You were doing so good, but what happened? And having to live with that. And then this video that's out there, because it's out there, the video of me being turned down and messing up and all this. So really getting to live with that as an artist. So I said, something, I'm going to turn it around. And when I work on my reel, that's definitely going to be in my reel. My dad is also a professional singer. My dad is like, don't worry, we'll take that the clip where you're actually singing, and we'll go to the studio and you'll re-record it right over that. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, but that's not really what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, almost, I like the realness of that moment for me. That was the reason why that happened for me. So I can't wait till I get the chance to turn that around, and I almost thought, I'm planning my showcase. A lot of my friends are like, you have to do this showcase. You have to do this showcase. And I'm like, maybe I should open the showcase with that video, with her saying to me, hoy no. I think that was her word. Those were her words, not today. Sorry, today is not your day or something. And then, turn it around live for everybody.
Yeah,
but that was definitely, that was definitely an awakening thing. It was my second singing competition as an artist, and I was like, I just don't want to do them again. Um, After that, I auditioned for The Voice, and I was just like, I don't want to do this again. You know, like even if there's
Yeah.
still opportunity for me to do that, everybody's like, hey, have you auditioned for The Voice again? And I'm just like, I don't think I want to put myself through that stress. And it's not even like that I've given up or that I'm scared. It's just like,
It's
you
not.
know, it's not, that's not my journey.
Yeah. I want to say, like, when you were talking about like your voice and like how you just knew that you were kind of like you were like gonna damage your voice like at that moment. I know like me and you talked before and you were like telling me about like you don't, it's not all about singing all the time, like you got to rest sometimes and maintain the health of your voice. And I know that all goes into training. So what was your experience like attending and training at the City College of New York for musical theater?
Well, it's funny because the director there at the time, Keith Lee Grant, who's been on Broadway, he's amazing. The program was theater based. He incorporated musical theater into the theater major. We didn't have a musical theater major there, and he opened the first season with West Side Story. And I remember auditioning for the summer program, which I couldn't do because I had to like do these prerequisites or something like that. But he's like, "This is my office. You have to come audition for West Side Story. You'll be great in it." So he gave me my first opportunity to really figure out that dynamic. Oh, I can act and sing. I always had an interest in acting, but my thing was always singing. And so we did, West Side Story. While training there, a lot of the training was straight theater. We went over the whole Stanislavski method, Uta Hagen and Stella Adler. We covered those, those those the greats because I mean they're amazing in their technique and their methods. Um, my training with musical theater, I was a music major, not a theater major when I first started at City College. I declared my major when I was graduating, like a week before. I was like, I'm declaring my theater major. Like I have most of my credits in theater. That's what I'm gonna do. And with voice, I was classically trained when I started my vocal training. And I think at first I was glad that I came up, growing up listening to like, R&B, soul, jazz, and all those things. Because once I did the classical training, it was more to like, teach me how to blend, how to use my head voice, how to go in and out of it, my chest voice. I had a lot of friends that were only classically trained. And when I would sing like an R&B song or whatever, they're like, oh, I wish I could like do that and sound like that because it's so difficult for me not to sound like if I'm singing opera when I'm singing an R&B song. And I just couldn't fathom that. Like, I'm just like, how could you not switch it up? But it's like a classical dancer. Sometimes classical dancers can't dance hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They have all the technique, but it's difficult for them to feel that rhythm in their body. And for me, I felt blessed that I was able to switch it up. That I was able to like um, do a show like Flahuli by Yip Harburg, and which is all class. The character only sings, in her head voice, and it's very classical. Which that was another experience for me at the theater for the New City. That's like vocally I went through something during that time too. That's when my voice started going away initially. um and I would go through these episodes and training myself now so that won't happen again. So at City College classically, being vocally trained, I learned that my classical teacher was just like, when you lose your voice, you're gonna have to keep pushing in your head voice. Even if you don't have it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it. And it was about the breathing. So she taught me how to, you have to keep it with your breathing and just keep pushing and get your voice back. Um, the training when it came to the acting at City College, a lot of my friends there, they're like, oh, I wish I could have gone to NYU our first semester. We talked about the schools that we really wanted to get into. I wanted to get into Purchase for jazz voice. Didn't get in there. But then today I think I was blessed because I would have never made it. And, we would have never opened Harlem Repertory Theater. Then I would have never been a resident actor there. Um, I The acting there was so raw, like the technique, that's what I love the most. I love, having that as a part of my artistry and not like playing it safe all the time. So everything I learned at City College was like, you better take risk. You don't play it safe. Make sure that your acting choices are like the most challenging ones. challenge your partner, your scene partner. You have to make sure you're listening, you're attentive, so all those basic tools. But what I took the most out of it was the realness and the rawness. There was no tippy toeing around these characters we were playing. And at least the character, my approaches to the characters, like even when I played Dina, we did Dreamgirls twice in my lifetime. I played Dina when I first became a mother, and years after, and there was a difference between the two, but I always approached the character, the character work I did, all my secrets were very strong. Like it wasn't nothing, I wasn't playing it safe. Like, when you say, what happened to your mom, Dina? There's a big thing in the play. In the movie, we see something else, but Dina's mom is forgotten, right? In the movie, you see her coming back for her daughter. In the theater play, that doesn't exist. Her mom passes away, and it's like she's not there. She's on tour. What do I do with this relationship that I never had with my mom? So that played a lot, for example, for Act 2, for the opening of Vegas. My secret was that I just found out my mother passed away and I have to open up this big show now. So what do I do? So all my moments before, I made sure they were really strong for me. It's like I'm almost in tears, but I have to open this big show in Vegas. How do I do this right now? And to really, really own that in that moment, that really makes a difference in the performance, So I always try to from my training, I take that. How strong are your moments before you walk out on stage, before you have this conversation with this actor? What happened to you before that? So I always try to make those things as interesting and dangerous as possible, especially for me, so that I can take myself there, out of character,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. I didn't know that either. That side of the story, but In the Heights just came out and it was incredible. And so how do you feel about it after playing Vanessa for 5 years, and what was just the experience like playing Vanessa?
Playing Vanessa, it was a lot because in the middle of it all, I was pregnant with my son, so it's like I played Vanessa. It was hard. One time I got pregnant maybe almost 4 years into the role. And I remember being on stage and it's like, oh my God, now I have to be this 19-year-old girl, which by the way, I was also doing I Like It Like That at the same time. I was doing Colored Museum at the same time. We're a repertory company. So it's like, okay, what's the next show? What's the next role you're playing? So at the same time that I'm playing Vanessa, I'm also playing like 3 other roles, in other shows. So the good thing that I've been able to do, and that I learned in my training, is to trust yourself and being able to switch from character to character at any instance. There was days that when I was playing Vanessa, that then we had a matinee show of In the Heights, and the next show was Colored Museum. Then I had to switch into Miss Pat really fast, switch into another age group. I think the biggest challenge for me was staying youthful all the time, because here I am coming from my full-time job where I'm a manager and I'm managing people all day. Then I'm like getting in this cab, doing my makeup really, really fast. And I'm here getting ready and having to be youthful on stage. Like my day never happened, I think that's one of the most challenging things. Being pregnant is another challenge in itself because it was so hard to sing. My diaphragm is like squished and I'm just like, oh my God, this next note I have to hit. And I'm so glad that with while doing In the Heights, thank God I never lost my voice. My range got a little bit lower when I was pregnant, but I had to push, those notes out. So on the other hand, the experience, not a lot of people can speak to that type of experience. Having to play the same role for almost 5 years and making it new every single night. And definitely blessed to have had an amazing Usnavi every night. My boy Rob, he's an amazing actor and is also I feel like he needs more light. People need to know who he is and his art. The trust that you develop with people on stage is amazing. Another challenge was sometimes we had to have new people put in at the last minute. So it's like, hey, Natalia, you're working with a different Daniela today. you're working with a different, graffiti pizza today. So it's like, okay. And literally 5 minutes before the show, we're going to do cue to cue of the whole musical. Whatever scene, this character's in, we have to do a cue to cue. And being able to, like, if that actor, and these were college students coming in that would get invited, like, hey, you played it, when we did the workshop, for City College. Now we're gonna hire you and come play it at Harlem Repertory Theater with these actors that these are our resident actors. Blessed to play against also fresh actors who are new to it, and they have no, like, how can I say it? They have no preconceived notion of certain things, so it's natural. And I love working like that with freshness. Like, you're not coming in here thinking, oh, I'm gonna do it this way. You're just falling into the action. So that was challenging. 5 minutes before the show, that happened a lot throughout the 5 years. What's something else oh my God, we worked with tracks. So the most challenging thing is when you don't have a live band, because it's like with a live band, oh, I forgot the words and I'm just gonna la 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 la, and then we're gonna fall in. I messed up, but you're gonna fall in. You better not mess up when you're working with these tracks. You can't mess up when you're working with these tracks. And there was a time where it's like I'm doing the beginning. It won't be long now. The music wouldn't start. So the scene before that, well, in the musical, because the film was different. The scene before that, you have Daniela, and I'm just like, oh my God, like my mom, she didn't, like, I gave her the money for the light bill, and she just, like, she took the money. I don't know what she did with it, whatever. And I'm talking to, like, to Con Ed on the phone or something. And I'm like, I need an extension. That's the scene before It Won't Be Long. And I remember ending the scene. So, we're ready. I'm ready for this track to come on. And then nothing comes on. So I'm just like, and I'm still pacing on stage. I'm like, Mom, how could you do this to me? And I'm in character. But then I'm also like, half of me is in character and the other half is like, oh my God, is this thing gonna play? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna start singing this like a cappella? And I was so close to starting the song a cappella. I waited. I was like, wait, girl, just wait. Even if it's 5 minutes, just wait. And like, I'm there in character and I'm just like looking up and I can see, the light booth and I can see them like up there and they're just looking at me like, what is she gonna do? And then backstage, people were like, oh my God, the track is not on. Is she singing yet? Oh my God, like the audience has no clue. That's the magic of it. They have no clue. They think this is part of the action. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh my God, how long can I keep this going? Pacing back and forth and just like, oh my gosh, my mom, and just like all this stuff under my breath. And then the track starts. But in my brain, before the track, I'm like, okay, when the track starts, you can't look surprised. You have to go with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, is it going to start? And when it finally started, I was just like, oh my God, let the sound just be. But we knew every night that no matter what, we had to keep going. So if that track comes off, you better keep singing. Don't even act like it like came off. And I think that when you work in working in Harlem Repertory Theater, because we always didn't have the funds to have a band, because we had to go through a lot, that really made us professional to just jump into it and just keep going. There was another time when the opening of the show, In the Heights, the biggest number of the show, the track went off. And we just kept going hard, dancing hard, singing hard a cappella. And I think the audience thought it was part of the action. It was just, they were just like, oh my God. Like we had like so many people at the end of the show, oh, that number was beautiful a cappella. And there were always sections where I would tell the cast before the show, get it together, get that harmony together. Like make sure you guys are listening, because a lot of the times we're not listening to each other and we're like singing, we're not blending. And wow, it was like the best time the best sounds ever in the 5 years that we did the show, that In the Heights sounded a cappella like that. And we were going so hard, singing and dancing. We did everything. And we just like, I think that the moments where we like mess up and the audience thinks it's part of it, those are the most magical moments ever. The most magical of all. And I think what I learned from playing Vanessa was like keeping my youth forever. Keeping the youth. And I had a lot of things that resonated with me with the character. The whole thing with her wanting to be downtown. That was always my thing growing up. And, I was able to like resonate with that. The whole thing with her, it's funny because in the movie, they made it seem like she was into fashion design. So I was like, I went to fashion industries, you know, no wonder while I was creating the character, I felt the fashion sense. But in the script for the play, they never say that. They never say that, you know, she's into fashion and all those things. But I felt that, you know. Um, just and also just meeting the other actors, not only the actors as themselves, but meeting these other characters through Vanessa was super emotional for me. You know, look, watching the movie, I was really upset with the comments they've been making about Lynn and his choice of casting and all that. They've been saying like, you know, all his choice of casting, you don't see a lot of people of color. What are you talking about? Everybody is colored in this film. You have the woman who played Daniela. I think she's Panamanian. You know what I'm saying? You have Vanessa. I don't know if she's Dominican or Puerto Rican. You have like, you know, Benny was African American, but they felt that there were not a lot of people who were dark skinned, like actually dark skin in the movie. And I'm like, I saw many.
Yeah.
I mean, what, you know, depending on what tone you're looking for, but everybody was there was a diverse cast. So that's something that I didn't agree with the film. How people have been downing the film, and I'm like, people always gonna find something. I love the film. I love the transitions. You know, a lot of differences with the actual musical script, but even those changes, I love that they had Usnavi tell the story. He was a storyteller, you know. Obviously, in the musical, he's a storyteller, but it's live the entire time. You know, he's not just saying the story to the little kids. You know what I'm saying? So I like that they implemented youth in that portion of their script in the film. Um, I would love to do the show again. I had the opportunity to play Daniela as well, and I really resonated with the character, maybe because of age too. At that point, like, oh, okay, Daniela sunk in right away. My best friend was originally playing Daniela, and I had to take over. Having the relationship with my best friend outside of stage and being able to play Vanessa and her Daniela, we had a good dynamic too with that. Um, it's just we're a family at Harlem Repertory Theater. And at first, there was a lot of controversy because my director casts an A cast and a B cast. And he says the reason why he did it is because, you know, sometimes people are out and they have to understudy roles. So the A cast, but then it became like this competition thing. Oh, but the A cast, we look like we're the real characters. You know what I'm saying? We look like I look like I'm a Vanessa. She doesn't look like a Vanessa in the B cast. She doesn't even speak Spanish, you know? And well, me personally, I had to stop myself really fast from falling into like that circle of gossip and, you know, because we were all friends. And all of a sudden, we were all angry at each other. We're like, you know, then we see the lineup dates and we're like, oh, but why does like the B cast get to do like 2 more shows than us? Or why do they get like, you know, all the night shows and we're getting matinee shows? I'm not an afternoon performer. I'm a night performer, you know? So we had to like nip it really fast because we were losing ourselves into this world. You know, we got this chance, we got the rights to this big musical, but now we were losing the dynamic of family too, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because then as the years went by, that whole A and B cast went away because then only some of us were available, or, you know, some people left the company. Then it was us, and it's like, wow, look at that. All that for nothing. We ended up like owning the show, this cast, you know, and it's like, it also taught me, like, you know, to be patient with the process and just do what you're there to do. Everybody's unique to their own thing. No one's gonna like this you know, Vanessa more than the other. Everybody's gonna resonate with who they do, you know.
Yeah.
But it's really easy as when you're an artist and you're an understudy or you're playing the main role to get stuck into that mindset of like, you know, oh no, this is my role, and, you know, I don't need an understudy. I can do it all myself, you know? I don't think that now. I'm like, I welcome all my understudies and I love you all. Come and help me out. But you know, it was a show that really taught me a lot. And because also it's my culture, you know, I'm Dominican. I grew up with many Puerto Ricans around me. So it was something that I could really like, it was close to my heart. And I'm blessed to have had, you know, performed it. Um, Another one of my other shows, non musicals, for color girls who consider suicide. that was another role of mine, straight theater, that I was just like, whoa, how could I ever even play that role again? Lady Red. It was really, you know, that's when I think I damaged my vocal cords playing that role, because there was a lot of shouting and I had to like play. At one point, I'm like going back from, you know, one character to the next all in one. Like in less than a second, I'm 3 people, you know? So the vocal dynamic that had to be utilized to get that across was a lot of strain on me. But I don't ever regret any of the things I do, any of the choices I make, any of the characters that I played, because they've been intense and I make it more intense, as I said before. Just because I think the realer you are, the more raw you are with your audience, that's what they're gonna take away from it. And that's what they're gonna remember. They're not gonna remember someone trying to play it safe on stage. They wanna see what they can do. That's what I feel. They wanna feel what they, you know, what they're so scared to feel in front of others. But I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I know that we're a little short on time, so I do have one more question, just because I am a student of yours. Tell us a little bit about teaching and your favorite part about being a teacher and what it's like working at Harlem School of the Arts.
Well, it's funny because I've been teaching for the last 2 years, set teaching. I got my master's I graduated in 2018. 2018. And prior to becoming a teaching artist at Harlem School of the Arts, I was the registrar. So I was in charge of programming, in charge of, you know, developing the curriculum for classes. So it's funny, like I got to know the back end of everything our students needed and what our teaching artists needed. So once I became a teaching artist, I would speak to the president. I'm like, no, this is missing in this class. We're missing this in the curriculum, just because I was already at the back end of it. Teaching for me has been so enriching. It's been just like learning from my students makes me a better actress, better singer. I love especially working with my youth. I love working with my teens because I feel like my teens are when at the end of the semester we've accomplished what we set out to do. And what I set out to do in my brain secretly, each of my students, they don't know. They don't know that I'm pushing this student to, like, get out of your head and, give me more facial. It's so difficult for them in the beginning than to see the student just out of that and be who they were not for me. That's always a surprise for me.
I don't know if it's doing this for everybody, but it is breaking up a little bit for me. I can't really hear. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
It is glitching for me as well.
It is glitching. I don't really know. Hello? No, it's glitching for me too.
Can you?
Okay. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's still kind of glitching. I can't. It's still kind of breaking up a bit. I don't know if it's the connection. I don't really know.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. I think we had a really good conversation.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And thank you for coming. I know we have a little bit of technical difficulties on the end, but there was plenty of wise words said in the middle. So I don't know if you can hear me. I really hope
I can hear you.
But Okay.
Can
Okay.
you hear me?
So yes, I can hear you. So yeah. They, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
thank
I'm
you
here
so
again.
much
Yeah.
for
Can you hear me?
thank you so much for being on our show.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. We're having a little bit of issues, but I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Everybody follow
you.
her here. I know the thing will come on the screen. Follow her here. And just thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
All right.
Okay.
So now is the tea time.
It's tea. Guys, we have a couple of rants lined up for you. I don't know if
we
it's
do.
necessarily
I
rants.
think the tea is going to be like super interesting today. I mean, it's not necessarily tea, it's more just our opinions.
It's kind of opinions, right? But
Right.
it's a little bit of tea. So I think we should start. This is vague, right? Corbin Bleu.
He is going to be hosting the 2021 Jimmy Awards.
If you don't know what the Jimmys are, it's like a high school musical theater competition. Andrew Barth Feldman won the Jimmys, Renee Rapp, Evelyn Noblezada, Brian McCartan, Antonio Cipriano. Anybody that you can think of that's really big, that's been big in the past couple of years, they probably won the Jimmys, or they probably went to the Jimmys. So, yeah, Kenna, what do we have to say about Corbin Bleu?
Oh, me and Kristina, before we like started like talking, like we were figuring out what tea we were gonna do, and then we both talked about Corbin Bleu and Jump In, and we just wanted to talk about how underrated that film is because it's so good, but so underrated. I think it should be talked. It's like the most underrated movie in Disney Channel.
Yes, like I feel like everybody knows Corbin Bleu from High School Musical, which we love High School Musical.
We
Everybody
love
on
High
here
School
knows.
Musical here.
Everybody knows that we love High School Musical. And we have something coming for you guys. Don't worry. We have something coming for you guys. And we're just going to talk about it. But Jump In was a great movie. Keke Palmer was in Jump In.
She was.
She was. Do you know of any other Nickelodeon artists that like did a little crossover? Because
I didn't watch Nickelodeon. I was a
Yeah.
Disney Channel person. Like I did not watch Nickelodeon.
Okay, I watched Disney was like my thing, but I also did watch True Jackson VP, and that was Keke Palmer's show. And so I don't really know of any other people who've crossed over, but Keke Palmer was in both of those. The movie was great. The girl from Bring It On, All or Nothing, I think that one, she was in it. She was one of the jump rope girls, the double dutch. The movie was just good.
It was so good. I haven't watched it in such a long time, so like I kind of forgot what happened. I mean, I remember what happened, but like I need to rewatch it but it was so good. That was one of my favorites. That was like one of the movies I used to watch like every day.
Yes, and like it doesn't come on anymore.
No,
Like,
I just think it's so underrated. Like no one
It
talks
is.
about it.
Nobody talks about it. Do you remember the songs like "Jump to the rhythm and dance to the music"? Da-na-na-na-na-na.
No, but I remember like
It was in there. Oh,
I remember like the push it to
to
the limit,
limit.
because we're in it to win it. Oh yeah.
Like it was a good.
It was
They
a good
had
movie. If you
they had
haven't
good
seen
double
it,
dutch. They were good. The story was a good story. Like
yeah, it was a good.
He was. It was everything.
It was so good. If you haven't seen it,
Go watch it.
go watch it.
something
Go watch it.
right now. Not right now.
Not right now. Not right now.
At 6, you can watch it. We have a few more rants. Let's talk about Rachel Zegler. I love Rachel Zegler.
Yes,
you guys know we've talked about her before.
We definitely talked about because she was in West Side Story.
Mm-hmm.
But now Disney's making a Snow White live action, and she's gonna play Snow White.
Okay, here's my thing. How are they gonna do the dwarfs? Or are they just gonna get the little people?
Oh.
Or like older
I
little
didn't think
people?
it through.
Is it gonna be like older little people?
I don't know.
Because like, and how are they gonna make the animals do the thing? Or is it just
yeah, I forgot that like Snow White was like animals.
like,
Wait, they did.
this is just a bit of a weird concept of a movie to do like live action.
They've done like Lion King and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
But like
there's
that's just like
CGI.
super expensive, but it's also Disney, so like.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one. So, what do you think about?
Why did it have to be Snow White?
I mean, what other Disney princess could she have played live action?
I don't think we need any more live actions. No offense.
I mean, I think at a certain point Disney just starts recycling. I still want a stage adaptation
Disney
of
at
Princess
this
and the
point's
Frog.
gonna end up doing every single movie, and there's gonna be a live action for every movie.
Like the live action Aladdin was where I was like, okay.
Oh, the live action. No, for me, no.
The Lion King
It was the Lion King one because I love Beyonce and it was good, but I was just like, why are we doing a live action Lion King if it's still kind of cartoony? Because this isn't real.
Yeah. Like, okay, the live action Beauty and the Beast, I was okay with it.
Yeah, that one was good. No, and the live action Cinderella with Lily James.
Yes, I did like that movie. But the Lion King and I really don't know how the Snow White movie is going to turn out. I love Rachel Zegler.
And also, I'll say the live action Mulan one too.
I did not like that.
That was
horrible.
Some of the live action.
I don't recommend any of you watch it.
I want to see Little Mermaid though.
I do with Halle Bailey. That's going to be great. And Daveed Diggs, I'm really excited for that movie.
The animated Lion King was so much better. Yeah, I totally agree.
The animated Lion King is iconic.
Yeah, I just don't know why.
It was like the start of the Disney Renaissance. Like, how do you, like, I think the reason that the stage play of The Lion King and the animation like works better than as opposed to like the CGI live action version is because the stage play didn't try to just do Disney, like do the animated movie on stage. It's actually like different. And they have like actual like South African people and like Swahili singers and stuff and like it's different and like the puppetry it's not trying to be the same.
Yeah, it's not trying. That's my thing because the Broadway one isn't trying to copy it. It's more just trying to like use the story. But the live action CGI one, I was like, this is just like a better version. Like it's like just graphics that I just didn't understand what was the point because it wasn't even like live action.
Yeah, they did.
It was still not real.
Yeah, they didn't even do a Scar song in the live action.
Oh, that's so true.
It was cut, and I really like that song.
Me too. But anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Snow White, I guess, because I like that Disney princess.
I mean, I like Rachel Zegler, so.
Oh yeah, I love her too.
I'm really here for it. Okay, now this is the moment you guys have all been waiting for. We know. I want to let the chat guess what we're about to talk about right now.
I think they know. Like
I'm pretty sure they know. But chat, like, come on. Somebody tell us what we're about to talk about. We'll wait, even though we know you guys know.
Yeah, because we talk about this like all the time.
We talk about this every day. Every time we come on here, even when we try not to. But you know, I feel like if we wait, I feel like they're not saying it.
Oh,
somebody said it. There we go.
Okay.
High School Musical. Yep, they said it.
Okay,
they said
it.
Know. There we go.
I know. Anyway, we just kind of wanted to. We didn't have that much cheese. We're like, you know what? We'll just talk about High School Musical, the series.
We have opinions.
But yeah, because there was a latest episode. Well,
not the latest
episode that came out today, but
I haven't either.
Episode there was a lot to unpack.
There is. The caption is perfect. Let's start by saying that nothing that we say is intended to offend any of the cast members of High School Musical, the musical series.
Yeah, we're more just talking about their characters.
We're talking about your characters.
Yeah, we
love you guys.
Love everyone. We love everyone.
All of you. We love you. We are not haters in any form or fashion. This is just our opinion. Let's unpack. So I don't know if you guys have been hearing us, but me and Kenna have been complaining that there has not been enough drama in High School.
Yes, the past couple episodes have been so boring.
The Valentine's Day episode, I'm sorry, there was no drama. The snow day, lock-in, storm,
no drama.
No drama. The quinceañero.
Oh, yeah, no drama.
No drama. But everybody cried.
Hear someone sing a climb.
And Seb made them cry. Let's talk about it, Kenna. Go ahead. Take it away.
Oh, this episode, there's just a lot to unpack. First, we have Gina and Ricky. Gina basically told Ricky that she had feelings for him, and so all this time she's like, it's been very awkward between them. And she's still like, she was going to move to Louisiana because it was too painful to be around Ricky.
But like, that's so good. Like the scene, and she was like crying. Sophia Wiley was crying. Like it was so real. I was like, what? And then like EJ's there, and you can tell they're kind of like, I don't know what Ashlyn was being all mad about in that episode.
Oh yeah, Ashlyn was like super mean in that episode.
She had like an attitude.
She was, and she was like, sorry, it's just because I'm Belle, and there was a lot of pressure with being Belle.
If you don't want to be Belle, let Courtney be Belle.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you guys. Like, I thought Courtney was going to be Belle.
I thought Courtney was going to be Belle too.
I was waiting for it, and I was kind of like, okay.
And she got Mrs. Potts.
Then she got Mrs. Potts. Let's talk about Courtney and Sally.
When Courtney got Mrs. Potts, like you kind of see like disappointment on her face, or maybe I just like read that wrong, but like I could
I was
see
like
she was like, oh, Mrs. Potts.
That's what you get when you audition in a trio. I'm sorry.
Right? Who auditions in a pop trio when you audition for a musical? For Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, because that's something that happens in the world of Beauty and the Beast. In the world of theater.
Oh, wait, hold up. You know what we need to talk about? We need to talk about the Rose.
Let's talk about the Rose. I want to start by saying nobody on here get the idea that you're just going to get the rights to a musical and then write in a song. That is illegal. That is against the law.
Especially with Disney.
You cannot change it. When I don't know if you guys have seen all the videos like making fun of illegal Heathers. And it's illegal Heathers because once you get the rights to a show, you are not allowed to change it at all. You are supposed to perform the show as is. Otherwise, you're like plagiarizing or whatever.
Yeah.
So, for them to go and add in a song for the flower
for
under
the
a rose, it was not even a duet.
Yeah, it was supposed to, so she was basically, Nene was supposed to write a duet for her and Ricky. It was a solo song. And also, why does the Rose have a song? Why does the Rose and Beauty and the Beast have a song?
Why is the Rose a character? Let's unpack that.
Right. The Rose should not be a character. The Rose should be a rose.
A dying rose. Like, why are you? And you're like, I'm sorry. It was just an Olivia Rodrigo song, and they were like, first off, I would like to say that I feel as if Nene's character has been like translating to like kind of like Olivia Rodrigo presently, because like she was like, oh, I need to work on my own thing. Like I want to start writing music and all of that. Like I feel like that was a whole other moment, and I feel like they're like, okay, well, Olivia has been writing music and everybody loves Olivia's music, so let's have Olivia write an Olivia song, and we're gonna put it in the show. Because
the song was good.
It was good.
I'm still not over, like, I know Nene's a big character and she had to get a part somehow. She had to be a part of this musical somehow, but I was just, was a rose the best you could do? She could have been a fork. Yeah. She could have been a pastry. Right. She could have been anything, but a rose, a flower.
And I was really kind of like disappointed as to where they took the storyline. Like, oh, like I get into the biggest acting school ever and I'm gonna just
whatever happened to that. She
just left.
She just left
and went home. She just left.
I don't know.
I really am sorry.
It's just me, but I just feel like High School Musical, the series season 2 is not really doing it for me.
It isn't. The sequel is never as good as the original.
Oh, also, can we talk about how EJ was going to go to Duke, which is in North Carolina? But he didn't get in. So.
Oh, sorry, Ken. A billion sorries to you.
Yeah, but he kept talking about Duke, and I was like, ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, can we talk about Andrew?
He wasn't in it as much as I thought he'd be in it.
Andrew Barth Feldman. He His French is beautiful.
Yeah, he is really good at French.
He's really good at French. I hope his character gets more screen time.
Yes, because he was just like the
little sidekick.
Yeah, he was like that funny sidekick, you know? That's it, like every like that sidekick that's like for comedy relief.
Yeah, like he was just like, how do you say espionage?
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah.
espionage. And then he's like, that is very convenient. And I was like, I'm sorry for my French accent. I can only say like stuff from Ratatouille.
Yeah,
like,
but I was like, I just thought he would get a little more screen time, but still, I'm super proud of him for being.
I am.
Yeah.
And it's full circle for him because his whole thing is like, he's like super into Disney and he loves Disney Channel. And I don't know if you saw the video of him talking about it. I don't know where this was. This might have been on one of the Broadway Jackbox episodes, but he was talking about how when he was like a little kid, he used to do karaoke to why am I black? To Bet on It. And,
I was like, oh, are you gonna say Bet on It like Ricky?
Yes, he did. And then it was like full circle for him to be in High School Musical. And also for Joshua Bassett, his first like community theater show was High School Musical. And so I was like, oh, that's so full circle. It is a full circle. Can we talk about Howie and Courtney?
Oh, okay. So the second we saw them, we knew they're gonna end up together.
That just was weird. Okay.
The second we saw them, we knew they were gonna end up together. Courtney's monologue, like, I just have to get this off my chest. I was like, I'm about to turn the screen off because what is this?
This is not realistic.
Yeah. Who says a full monologue saying
This is a
like
full monologue. And then he was like, I think I just found the Ravenclaw to my Gryffindor. And I was like, stop. I was like, stop it. That was not the proper words to say then. And then she just like took it like, oh, like that's a good up.
And then Nini's just in the back trying to write.
She's just like.
But that whole monologue just like, I was like, you don't.
I was like,
you would just say you like them?
She's like,
and then you're the
like, I like you. I was like, Courtney.
I was like, Disney, we could have done a little better with this writing, but.
Yeah, and then like Olivia was like pressuring her. She's like, "You go tell him you like her, or I'm not gonna write my song, and the play's gonna be demise." Like, that's a little vindictive. I'm sorry, Olivia Rodrigo, but I love Roman Banks. He's from Georgia. He's from Atlanta. He did the Pulaski's Collision Project in 2017 at the Alliance Theater. I think he's a cool guy. First black guy to play Evan Hansen. Before Jordan Fisher. Don't let anybody tell you that Jordan Fisher was the first, even though we love Jordan Fisher here.
Yes.
If you want to call
I feel like we talk about Jordan Fisher quite often too.
Well, Jordan Fisher is resuming his role as Evan, which I need to get tickets because I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him as Evan very badly. I think Jordan Fisher's just a talent.
He is.
He is. He's a
like,
triple threat.
The second we saw him in Teen Beach Movie, we
knew. We knew C-Cat. I want the C-Cat hair to come back. I loved that. Maybe not come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did like it though. That was him and Chi-Chi. What song was that? Falling for you, can't hold on any longer.
And now I'm falling for you.
That was a good
version.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Oh, okay, yeah. Teen Beach Movie 2.
Let's not talk about it. Jama, we can live without it. Please tell me you get this so I don't just keep doing this.
Yeah. I was just like, Teen Beach Movie 2 was like definitely not as good as the first one.
It was a flop. When I was in like whatever grade I was in that Teen Beach Movie came out, my friend had a Teen Beach Movie birthday party and her mom was
my friend had a
wait, for real?
Yes, my mom planned it. Like
I'm shook. Yeah, my friend's mom was our drama teacher, and we did a whole thing. We all dressed up in like the outfits and stuff, and we did like the choreography. And I remember doing like the bubblegum cherry pop, go to the hop. hanging with my brothers because his friends are so hot while they're cruising. I love that movie.
No, my friend did a Teen Beach movie birthday party too, because my mom, she's like really good at planning birthday parties and stuff. So like she made all this themed beachy food. We watched the movie. Like this was like a themed Teen Beach movie. Like I don't know. I love that movie.
I love it. That movie's underrated too.
Okay, not as underrated as Jump In.
Not as underrated as underrated. What's another like really underrated Disney movie?
Princess Protection Program is not talked
Princess
about.
Protection Program was good. My name is Rosalinda Maria Montoya Fiore. I love that.
Yeah,
love that
it was not. That one wasn't talked about much, and it was good.
Yeah, it was good. I feel like the Lizzie McGuire movie has had a resurgence. Like everybody loves that movie now. Yeah, there was just a lot of good movies. I have a question for you. What do you think about all like the Disney crossovers? Like the episodes where it'd be like Jesse and Austin and Allie, like
I've never watched like an episode like that.
You didn't see the one. Do you remember? Or sometimes they cross over characters, but they don't cross over. Do you remember like Billy Cowbells was a good movie? That was a good movie. I used to love that movie.
Cowbells.
That was a good movie. When they burned that house up, that was a good movie.
That was a good movie. That's underrated too. I might watch that tonight actually because that was a good movie.
That was a really good movie. I would like to say that
also Allie and AJ were a part of that, and they're like,
we love Allie and AJ. Love that. I want to say that like Disney, like when they like recycle like celebrities, like for other shows, like do you remember like Billy and Bobby on like Austin and Allie, and it was like Ryan and Dove being like Billy and Bobby, or like do you remember Kayla on Hannah Montana, Selena Gomez?
Yeah, or like
or the Jonas Brothers,
Tisdale, and like
yes,
yeah.
Starstruck was good too.
Oh, Starstruck was like literally so good.
I was obsessed with that movie.
Yeah, Starstruck is so good.
What was like your like Disney Channel like shows, like your top 3 like when you were like a little kid?
I mean, I watched the shows, but I wasn't like, I probably haven't seen every episode, but like Jessie was my favorite.
I love Jessie.
Geek Charming's good.
Geek Charming was good. Or do you remember the one with it was Bella Thorne and Zendaya, but it wasn't Shake It Up. Frenemies, yes.
Frenemies,
that was a good movie.
That one's good. Mm-hmm. But Jessie, I mean, I recently kind of got back into Hannah Montana, the TV show, so like that one, obviously. But then also, I think I was a big Liv and Maddie fan. Good Luck Charlie, I don't know, whatever was on I watched. But Good Luck Charlie I liked a lot.
I used to go through phases with Good Luck Charlie. Like I would really like it, and then I like wouldn't like it, and then I really liked it. I think for me, Hannah Montana was always there. I guess I had stages, because first it was like Hannah Montana, Sunny with a Chance, and Wizards of Waverly Place.
Sunny with a Chance.
It was so random when they like made like the spinoff. 16 Wishes. That is a good
16 movie. Wishes. Why isn't that on?
When Disney I was like little, why isn't Enchanted on Disney Plus? Disney Plus, I'm trying to figure out why these movies aren't on Disney
Plus. Why isn't Radio Rebel on Disney Plus?
Radio Rebel is good. Why can I not say her name right? Debbie Ryan's movie's not on Disney Plus. She's married to like Tyler Joseph.
She's married.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The Tyler Joseph of 21 Pilots. I was a bit shocked.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that out like a while ago. I just saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, I was a Hannah. I didn't necessarily watch the show, but me and my mom would listen to the album like I was like 3. I'm still like the biggest Hannah Montana fan. I still listen to music. Not ashamed of it. Still, I just watched the movie like.
I love the Hannah Montana movie.
Yes,
I'm a Hannah Montana fan.
I'm like a big Hannah Montana fan and Miley fan, obviously.
Like, it's so good. Like, I feel like shows have just gone down in quality.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'll still watch That's So Raven. I'll still watch Wizards of Waverly Place. I'll still watch Austin and Ally. Like any show, I won't watch the last few seasons of Austin and Ally. After Laura Marano dyed her hair like that ombre color was when I stopped being into.
Oh wait, there's another Bad Hair Day.
Oh, I do remember that. I did not like that movie.
Yeah, it was when Disney Channel movies started to go like.
Yeah, I feel like Disney Channel is going down in quality and Disney Plus is elevating.
Yeah.
But
Make
Hannah Montana walks and Miranda Sings Can Run. I'm dying. I love
yeah.
it. I feel like they don't even make Disney Channel original movies now. It's
Yeah,
just
I don't think they do
Plus
either.
movies.
Oh, Let It Shine. We talked about that before.
We
but that
talked
was
about
really
this.
good.
Let It Shine is so good.
That
Coco
one's good.
Jones. I get mad because Disney does these people's hair. Like, did you ever watch My Babysitter as a Vampire?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe actually, I feel like I have. I just like.
Yeah, well, the girl Vanessa. Why can't I think of her last name right now? She's in Riverdale. She plays Tony.
Yep, Riverdale.
Vanessa. They had her hair so bad. It was like flat ironed, but like fried and like puffy, and like it was not it.
Yeah,
And
Disney Channel. They love the wigs.
they love the wigs. They love straightening black girls' hair. You do not need to straighten black girls' hair. I think
noticed. Okay, but I noticed it way more that like with Let It Shine too, because I talked about how High School Musical they would put headbands over the wigs so you couldn't because they didn't know how to style the hair, but they did the same thing for Let It Shine. They would have her have these headbands so you couldn't see where the wig.
Yeah, and she had those little like clip-in extensions that you knew were like clip-in extensions. The pink ones, yes, they were like those Party City birthday party rock and roll, and I was really
at the end when they put her in that pink big wig.
Yeah,
and like she was like, "I'm not going out of this."
And the shoes were like, oh, you can see my. Okay, there you go. The shoes were like this tall. I was not there for that. That was. Yeah. Well, I guess we've won on our rant for the day.
That was our tea. But thank you all.
Thank you for showing me. Season 2, episode 1. 99-cent extensions. They tried it.
Anyway, thank you all for watching, and thanks for watching season 2, episode 1.
Episode 1, you guys were here. Thank you. We love you guys, teacups. Yeah, just come back next week.
Thank you.
Also, social media. And donate to Broadway for Racial Justice. We have a GoFundMe. Broadway for Racial Justice. I will do the thing. Broadway for Racial Justice is an organization dedicated to helping people of color in the theater industry. They just do everything that needs to be done to make conditions better, right? Like whether that be casting initiatives or promoting people or just having a place where you can vent if you have trauma. Donate. No donations too small. No donations too large. Money can always be used. It's right there. Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you. Thank you all, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.